Hey everybody, I'm Joshua Orro of the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. Now, for today's episode, I want to talk about a very inspirational actress whom I got to video chat with during November 2020, the lovely Jodi Benson. For those who don't know, here's a little history lesson about her. Jodi Benson is an American actress, voice actress, and singer who is best known for providing both the speaking and singing voices for Ariel in the Little Mermaid trilogy, as well as voicing Barbie in the Toy Story sequels. Also, Jodi made her debut in the 1975 Kenny Ortega directed musical Marilyn, an American Fable, and she was a starring role in the 1986 Broadway musical Smile, where she introduced a song called Disneyland. Also, as of 2011, Jodi Benson became a Disney legend. Now, in the past, I managed to talk about Jodi in several blogs on my show. Not only the Little Mermaid trilogy, but also two of Princess Sophia's TV episodes, Don Bluth's Thumbelina, Joseph, King of Dreams, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, The Crippled Lamb, and Enchanted. Also, a couple hours before I got my chance to chat with her via GalaxyCon, I learned that Jodi has been a huge inspiration for children with disabilities. Not only those with autism and Asperger's syndrome, but also those who have walking or speech disabilities. Also, I'm still pretty curious about how she knows about my hometown, Mission Viejo, California. And while I was only able to afford 2 minutes with her, there's so much else I wanted to talk to her about. But it was still worth it in the end. Well, anyway, you folks are probably wondering what film featuring Jodi am I going to talk about today. Well, way back during the summer of 2008, not long before I went on my final BSA camp, which was at Camp Pupukea on Oahu, Hawaii, I came across an animated special from the early 90s while I was browsing through YouTube. So, let's get started. Released to television in 1992, the special is The Story of P.J. Sparkles. Now, let's get started. PJ is a young orphan with no last name, and she has a very special wish. She wants someone to love. One night, while riding with her gray horse Blaze, PJ gets her wish. The wishing star shines its magical light on her and her horse, and she's transported to the gray world of Twinkle Town. There, PJ makes 3 new friends, whom she names Glimmer, Glowy, and Sparks, as well as other nameless children who have been wishing for someone to love and lead them. The wishing star has also turned Blaze into a beautiful white talking horse and has given PJ a crown that talks. Plus, PJ's clothes has changed into a brilliant sparkling dress which gives her her last name. She is now known as PJ Sparkles, and she was also given a magical power, the magic of love. However, the neighbors, the cloak and his wife Betty, are displeased with the color and bright light that PJ has brought to the town, and they try to use chemistry to sabotage her efforts and return the town to what it was before. Meanwhile, PJ goes to Earth and meets a young insecure boy named Peter, who often plays the tough guy in order to gain friends. When the two venture back to PJ's town, it is ridden by dark magic, causing everybody to hate each other. When she is struck by the magic herself, it is Peter who saves the day, and since then has learned that there is a much better and positive way to make and have friends. So, what do I personally think of this special? Well, to be perfectly honest, it's really not that bad. In fact, nowadays, it's pretty underrated. But let's move on to Mustang notes, shall we? The special was produced by Mike Young Productions, which is nowadays known as Splash Entertainment. This studio is an American animation studio that produces children's TV shows. However, just recently, I learned that this studio helped with Michael Jackson's 2017 Halloween special, along with Rock Dog, the 1994 animated Secret Garden movie, and Norm of the North. Also, the special was written by Pamela Hickey and Dennis McCoy. Plus, the special was more or less an advertising vehicle for a Mattel doll, which, in my opinion, was pretty common for television during the 80s and 90s. Now, what are my thoughts on the animation? Well, to me, the animation for this special is pretty good since it was the early 90s, but at the same time, it kind of feels reminiscent to 80s Saturday morning cartoons. Also, I think Twinkle Town is a pretty sweet little town when it's not gray or gloomy. And I think the story is kind of in the same style as Rainbow Bright, along with Generation 1 of My Little Pony and the Care Bears. But I'll be getting to this movie soon enough. But still, some parts about this special really do tug at my heartstrings. Plus, this special feels like a pilot that didn't succeed in becoming its own TV show, which is sad because unlike another failed pilot that I looked at, this one seems to show decent potential. Also, there are 2 songs featured in the special. The first one is Here Comes PJ Sparkles, which plays at the beginning. To me, this intro song is nice to listen to, and it gives a decent narrative of what the special is about. Also, I can't help but laugh when the evil cloak flees and hides whenever PJ sprinkles her magic. And the other song in this special is called With My Wish for Love, which is sung by PJ while she and Blaze are in a moonlit meadow about to make a wish on a star. You know, every time I listen to this song, it makes me feel very teary-eyed and sympathy, since PJ does mention that every time she seems to make a friend at the orphanage, they quickly become adopted, and she just wants someone to love and care for. Also, in my opinion, this song feels like a very sweet lullaby. And now, let's move on to the characters and the voice actors who brought them to life. Our title character, PJ Sparkles, is voiced by the lovely Jodi Benson. Like most characters that Jodi voices, PJ is a sweet, caring little girl with a loving heart. Also, I think PJ has great potential while leading and loving the children of Twinkle Town, as well as helping other children all over the world. Plus, Jodi's singing is just amazing to listen to, as always. Next we come to PJ's companion, Blaze, voiced by Jodi Benson, best known as the Beast in Disney's Beauty and the Beast, young Nicholas in The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus from 2000, and Asa from The Crippled Lamb. To me, Blaze is a loyal horse, and I think he's my favorite character in this special. Plus, I like when he goes, "Whoa!" a lot throughout the special. Also, due to his design and his heart-shaped cutie mark on his flank, I can't help but think that he was inspired by My Little Pony. Next we have Peter, a lonely little boy voiced by Philip Glasser, best known as Fievel from the first 2 American Tail films. To me, Peter is a relatable kid who seems shy and insecure, mainly due to the fact that he moved to a new neighborhood and he has trouble making friends at school, mainly due to him being tough. However, I do like that he's good with horses, since he did have a horse named Brownie before he moved off the farm. Plus, I like that Peter became a hero by showing his love for PJ. Next we come to PJ's Crown, who's voiced by Samantha Eager, who also voices the sweet orphanage owner, Mrs. O'Malley. And she's also best known for voicing Hera in Disney's Hercules. This character serves as a guide for PJ while she's in charge of Twinkle Town. Later in the special, while she tries to help Peter, the Crown alerts PJ that Twinkle Town is in danger. In my opinion, the Crown is kind of similar to Jiminy Cricket from Pinocchio or Gremlin Gus from Epic Mickey, due to her guidance and knowledge. Next we come to the two villains, the Cloak and his wife Betty, voiced by Oliver Muirhead and Roger Rees. In my eyes, these two are really despicable neighbors who seem to enjoy negativity as well as a gloomy and dirty neighborhood. However, when PJ makes Twinkle Town all happy and colorful, they become unimpressed. So, Cloak decides to use a chemical formula to make Twinkle Town gloomy and all the children nasty. By the way, the part where PJ yells at Peter after she got sprayed really put me in shock, due to PJ sound like a young bratty Vanessa. Finally, we have PJ's new friends and assistants, Glowy, Glimmer, and Sparks, voiced by Olivia Hack, Jana Michaels, and Dana Hill. To me, while they don't seem to have too much screen time, I think they're pretty decent and friendly kids, before they got sprayed by Cloak and Betty's negative chemical formula. Also, I thought it was sweet when the kids decided to throw a parade in PJ's honor. And now let's move on to my final words. Overall, the story of PJ Sparkles is a pretty decent TV special. While it was mainly made to help Mattel promote a new doll at the time, it is very sad that it didn't become its own animated series. The animation is pretty good, the music and the plot is sweet, the characters are lovable and memorable, though the villains are very despicable, and also I think the voice acting is great. Also, while it does feel reminiscent to a couple 80s cartoons, I still think this special is highly underrated and it deserves a watch. Sadly, while VHSs are no longer available, you can still watch this special on YouTube, and if so, you should definitely give it a watch if you're looking for something to watch with your kids. So, I give this special an 82% out of 100. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to join me next time, because I'm gonna blast off to the mythical moon kingdom of Lunaria. Mustang Power.